All right, man. So last night, Bam Adebayo drops 83 points in Miami, of course, going up against the Wizards. And so everyone's been asking, everyone's talking about the fact of, oh, well, was this better than Kobe Bryant's? He surpassed Kobe for the second most points scored all time in a game. And all of that's good. But here's my opinion. I hate to say it, but it's time to pump the brakes. Now, 83 on the surface looks fantastic. And by the way, may I add, that's 83 more points than I would ever score in an NBA game. But there's a couple caveats to this. The first is Bam's field goal percentage. Now, this ain't a bad number at all, but this is not the type of number that we would typically expect from one of these performances. He shot 20 of 43. 20 of 43. Now, that's 46, basically 47 if you round up percent from the field. So he missed more shots than he made. Does that seem like an 80-point greatness game to you? Not sure about that. The other weird thing about this game is you have Bam. He's athletic. He's definitely improved his shooting in recent years, but he shot 7 of 22 from three. That's literally, I'm not even joking, that's under 33% from three-point land. Now, that's not to put a knock on him. Again, like I said, this is an incredible feat. But then let's compare it back to some of the other people. Let's compare it back to Kobe, because that's the name that keeps coming up. What did Kobe shoot from three against Toronto way back in '06? He shot 7 of 13 from three-point land. 7 of 13. That's over 50% from three. So it took Bam basically, 150% more shots to get the same amount of makes from three-point line. I get it. He's a center, but are we even shocked these days? I mean, we have Jokic, Nikolai Jokic, even Aaron Gordon, who used to not be able to shoot worth a beam, can make a pretty high rate from three-point line. And then I want you guys to think about this. Yes, Kobe's performance against the Raptors was also bolstered by a lot of free throws. I think he shot 18 of 20. I'm looking at the side monitor here right now. Yes, 18 of 20. Meanwhile, Bam Adebayo. I want you to think about if this is normal. He shot 36 of 42 from the line. One more time. 36 of 42. Now, I might not be a genius, but how many times have you saw 42 free throw attempts happen in the NBA? Guess what? You haven't. Because this is the first time we've ever seen 42 attempts, actually 43 attempts from the line in an NBA game. So even if he just makes all of those, which he did, he made 36 of 43, that's really good. And again, mad respect to him. Again, a center who's rather larger, large hands. You can't really shoot the free throws as well. But 43 trips to the line. What were the refs looking at last night? There's a couple of plays that I watched, and I watched the whole game. I went back and I looked through it all. And there were literally plays where if you just breathe on it, it's like, send him back to the line. Not good. Not good enough. And I literally think this is an intentional thing done by the NBA. Also, it was something chased by which we'll talk about in a second. But the NBA, they know that their viewership's down. They know that people are tired of just watching the three-point landing competitions every 5 seconds. So, what the heck are we doing here? Well, let's just let the big guy go in and get 80 points. It'll be something that takes over social media, gets people back into the regular season. I don't think it's a coincidence. I really don't. Now, let's also talk about this. I have no problem with playing you guys all 48 minutes of an NBA game. Okay? I have no problem with that. Playing however long you want to play your players, that's up to you. I don't believe in honor code crap where it's like, oh yeah, well, We got to take our guys out. Let's empty the bench. It's over. Let's just give up. Let's just take our win and go home. I'm fine if you play from whistle to whistle. That's what the game was for, right? That's what it is for a lot of us. But with that being said, there were several possessions where the Heat were literally just chucking the ball and like, all right, go get yours. And of course, then what happens? Well, he gets fouled, more free throws. So, again, is it a great performance? Yes. I absolutely love Bam Adebayo. I think he's a great piece for Miami. I think that when Jimmy Butler left, that was a tragedy. Seeing those two play together was phenomenal. Both physical, both talented, both hard workers. But again, just chucking the ball to him, letting him do whatever he wants to do, and just acting like that's offense in an NBA game, not exactly great. Now, did Kobe point case? Yeah, of course. Yes, he did. And as a matter of fact, since we brought up Kobe, it kind of reminds me of his retirement tour. I mean, it was over, right? I mean, the retirement tour, it was his last game. They just said, here you go, buddy. And he went out, he dropped 60. And he also shot below 50 from the field that day. But is it his 81-point performance? Is it something that should be remembered and live in infamy compared to Kobe Bryant's night? I just don't think so. And the proof's in the pudding. Like I said, 7 from 13 from 3, 18 of 20 from the field. Playing 42 minutes, they both played the same amount, ironically. And looking at it and saying, you know what? His field goal percentage could not miss that night. 60% from the field versus someone who didn't even make half of their shots in Bam Adebayo. That's why I think we hear all this talk about surpassing Kobe. And, oh, well, Bam, he's got it now. And again, he did points-wise, stats-wise. I totally agree with that. That's fine. But when you look at the numbers and you look at how it's done, which one's more iconic? Which one's entertaining? Which one is the one that you would want to be living in if you had the choice to play the game of Kobe hitting 81, or if you got to experience it through Bam's eyes, what he did last night? What would you want? I think pretty much everyone, 9 out of 10, maybe even 10 out of 10 players would say I'd rather have Kobe's night. I'd rather be excellent from the floor. I'd rather not be gifted free throws, and I'd rather not just keep worrying about drawing fouls. Now, no disrespect to Bam. I love him as a player. Like I've said, I think he's fantastic. I want him to continue to light it up. But for every single person who says that this eclipses Kobe, this ruins that Kobe legacy of always being like the most effective scorer in a game that's not Wilt, they're lying to you. Bam Adebayo, fantastic performance. All-time great performance even. Does it beat Kobe? Not even close.